Hey everyone, it's Lynnea for Simon Hurley Create. Today I'm going to be using Simon Hurley Create dye inks along with my gel press to create some fun backgrounds. Now, as I am filming this video, this is only the second time that I have used a gel press. I'm sure by the time this video goes live I will have practiced more with it, but as I'm working on this is the second time. I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube, primarily from Jennifer McGuire. She has a playlist on her YouTube channel of a bunch of different ways she uses her gel press. And one of the ways I really loved and I wanted to try with this Simon Hurley Create Lovely Lilies background stamp. I thought at first that maybe I would do the full background. I wasn't really sure where I was going at this point. I just knew that I wanted to use this because it was a pretty background. In the end, I ended up taking advantage of the peel apart nature of the background stamp and just using the left line of lilies. I'm going to white heat emboss this onto some stark white cardstock. So I'm using my anti-static powder tool. Then I'm just going to ink this up with some Versamark ink. It's just a clear embossing ink, nothing fancy. Stamp this down and then I will heat emboss this. I actually used clear embossing powder, and that is only because that is what was right on top of my desk. You could use white, you could use gold, silver, whatever you want. But because I used clear and that stark white cardstock is underneath, it's going to look like a white embossed image. Now here's my gel press. I have the 6x6 size, but there's lots of different sizes. I removed the inner mat from my MISTI, and I'm going to stick my gel press onto the lid of my MISTI, kind of putting it in the middle so I have lots of room to work with. Now I'm grabbing some Simon Hurley Create dye ink pads. You can use any of the dye inks that you want. I thought I would try for a rainbow first. So I'm going to go in with Slippery When Wet, and I'm showing you here that I'm using just one edge of my ink pad, kind of putting it at like a 45-degree angle, tilting that ink pad just a little bit, and then rubbing it across my ink pad. I'm not dabbing like how you would ink up a stamp. I'm definitely rubbing this across. I think because this is a dye ink with a felt pad, that's what worked best for me. So I just put my ink all over, and now I'm grabbing my brayer, and I'm just going to go back and forth so that my brayer covers the whole background, but I'm kind of inking off in the middle because I don't want to bring that red all the way down past the yellow and the blue. I guess you could because they would all mix to make pretty colors, but I kind of brayered over the red and the yellow and then wiped off, and then the yellow and the blue, and then wiped off again. I put in one of my heat embossed panels and put that gel press right over the top. Now this is going to be a very light application at first. I'm going to keep on going a total of 4 times on this one background. But there's still ink left on the gel press. It doesn't look like it, but there is. So I grabbed just a plain, clean white piece of stark white cardstock, and I'm going to use the gel press on that as well. Now, in Jennifer McGuire's video, because we did the heat embossing, there should have been some extra ink left on the gel press from where the heat embossed image was kind of raised and left behind. So I should have gotten a dark image, the gel pressed background, and then like a darker secondary image of that Lovely Lilies background stamp. I didn't get it. I'm not perfect, but that's okay. I still resulted in 2 pretty backgrounds. It just wasn't the background that I expected. I'm going to repeat this process again, dragging my ink pads across my gel press and then brayering back and forth, laying my cardstock back in, and you're going to see here, look, it's already getting more vibrant. I am taking a cloth and wiping off my heat embossing after every time that I stamp this gel press onto it. That way the ink doesn't build up on top of my embossing powder, and I'm still going to have that bright, crisp image underneath. Now here you can kind of see where I'm getting that secondary image, but it didn't really work the way it was supposed to. Like I said, that's totally okay. I love how I only used 3 colors of Simon Hurley Create dye inks, and you can see there that by brayering them across each other, I got a full rainbow effect. Super fun. Now I thought that I would, since I have those lilies, I kind of thought I would do maybe a sky effect. So I'm going to take 3 more colors of Simon Hurley Create dye inks. This time I'm using Remember Me, Midnight Snack, and Crown Me. And I'm just going to again, brayer this back and forth. Now, since these are all blues and in the same family, I just went all the way down and then all the way up with my brayer. You do want to make sure that your brayer is making contact with all of your gel press as you move up and down. Otherwise, you're going to get areas that kind of you're going to get splotchy areas. It's hard to explain, but you want to make sure that you do get your brayer all over your background. So I did the same thing there. I repeated that process 4 times, and so again, that results in 1 super dark background and 1 lighter background. I'm only going to be using the backgrounds that turned out as the tutorial said that they should. I'll set those other backgrounds aside. I will absolutely use them because even though I didn't do it right and it didn't turn out the way that I wanted, they're still really pretty backgrounds and I can use them for something else. But I really wanted to have those lovely lilies be a star today. So I'm just going to take those 2 backgrounds with the white heat embossing, and I am going to make a circle card. I haven't made a circle card in a long time, and I think it's something unexpected and fun. So I die cut down the lovely lilies background, and I have a white A2 top folding card base. I pre-score and pre-make all of my A2 card bases, so I have a whole bunch ready to go. I took a circle that's just about 4 1/4 inches in diameter, and I hung that just slightly off the top and ran that through my die cutting machine. It's going to cut through both pieces of cardstock, no problem at all. And now I have all my layers that I can layer up on top of here. Now what's not shown here is that I will cut another piece of from the same circle die that I cut the base from. I'll cut that out of stark white cardstock and have that be my background piece so you don't see that flat top area of the circle. It'll look like a full circle. For my sentiments, I am using the Sentimental Flower stamp set. It's my favorite Simon Hurley Create stamp set right now. I stamped that thinking of you, popped it up on foam, and added a bunch of gems just to pretty the cards up a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial using Simon Hurley Create die inks with your gel press and that you'll give this technique a try. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye! Thank you again very much for watching this video. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more from me, please hit that subscribe button that is on the screen now. And here are a few other videos that I thought you might enjoy.